here has ever had one of those days where you felt like you got nothing accomplished? And we've all had those days. And what happens is you don't realize it until halfway through or until the end of the day. It's like, wow, I got nothing done. You wanted to get something done. You start off with the right intention, but for some reason it just didn't happen. Well, I recently watched a course by someone named Eben Pagan. It's called Wake Up Productive. And what he talks about is how you can help yourself to wake up and be productive throughout the whole day. The reason it's called Wake Up Productive is because you wake up from the start, you're productive, and it carries on through the whole day. And one of the things he points out, the most important thing to being productive is you. When you wake up, how you feel. Part of how you feel is, are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating healthy? It's pretty hard to go to work or accomplish a lot if you feel horrible, if you're sick. So he talks about getting enough sleep, eating healthy. From the point when you wake up, your first meal of the day should be a healthy meal. The first thing you do for the day should be something that's important. Those days where we have a lot accomplished, where we eat healthy, it's almost like a domino effect. You wake up, you have one healthy meal. You do something very productive. Well, I don't want to ruin it. I'm going to do some more productive things. I'm going to eat another healthy meal. And all of a sudden, you're all the way over here. You've accomplished a lot. On the other hand, there's those days where you wake up and maybe you have a bad breakfast. And you watch TV or you do something that's not that productive. And you think, well, it's lunchtime. I already had a bad breakfast. I ruined my diet for the day. Lunch isn't going to matter. I haven't really accomplished much, so I don't need to do much now. I'll do it tomorrow. Then dinner comes. Well, breakfast and lunch have already been blown. Why not go dinner too? And all of a sudden, it's been a very unproductive day. You ate not healthy. And it's a domino effect either way. It's very hard to go from one side all the way over to the other, or from one here all the way over here. So knowing that you have to feel good, you have to be healthy. You have to start off right to be productive. Next he goes into what we can actually do to be productive. Now a lot of us here have things we do throughout the day. And what stops us from doing those? Interruptions. We have interruptions. A lot of us have a cell phone in our pocket. A lot of us may sit in front of a desk or may have a computer in front of us where every time we get an email, a sound is made and a little box pops up alerting us. And a lot of us are accessible at any time throughout the day by someone else. So that means you can be concentrating on something and you can get an email, a phone call, or someone can interrupt you. Just like that. Now think about this. What if you wanted to fly on a plane and you wanted to go from California all the way to New York? But every time someone wanted to get on that plane, it had to stop at an airport and pick them up and then get back up in the air. That's kind of like an interruption. When you're concentrating on something, you can focus. When that plane is in the air, it can fly straight from California to New York. But every time someone says, hey, I want to get on, you have to land, pick the person up, get back in the air. That 4 or 5 hour flight may turn into 2 or 3 days, stopping at every single airport along the way. So interruptions can be something that can really cause us excuse me, to get off track. It may take 5 or 10 minutes to really get in pace and really get in the groove with what you're doing. And then phone rings, you answer it. Hello, who's this? Oh, it's a friend. And now all of a sudden you forgot where you're at. So interruptions can be something that we want to be aware when they happen, and we want to schedule them if we need them. So that means have time scheduled where you can't be interrupted. Have time scheduled when you can be interrupted. What I do is I schedule, and according to Eben Pagan, he says schedule 50-minute blocks. I'll schedule a 50-minute block uninterrupted. That means my email is shut off. My phone is put somewhere where I cannot see it or hear it. And I focus, that's it, my door's closed. Unless it's an emergency, you can't get a hold of me for that 50-minute session. Excuse me. The next step he gives is on multitasking. Who here thinks multitasking is a good idea? In business, multitasking can sometimes be one of the worst things you can do. Think about this. You can do one thing At 100% or 10 things at 10%. Now let me give you an example of multitasking. You might see it in a different light. Pretend one of your friends just got a new car and they want to show it to you. But it's one of the worst nights in St. Louis. It's 10 degrees out. It's sleeting. The roads are iced over. It's nighttime. And they come pick you up. And they want to show you this new car they have. And they're driving this new car, and they show you this new DVD player they have installed in their car. So while they're driving in these horrible conditions, they're watching a movie. And then a friend texts them on the phone. So they're text messaging with their friend on the phone while driving, talking to you, watching a movie. And then they decide they're hungry. So they're going to stop at Steak and Shake and get a hamburger. So now they're driving with their knee. One hand's got the phone, the other hand the hamburger, and they're watching the movie and talking to you. While it's sleeting out, you can barely see more than 20 feet in front of the car. Who thinks that's a good idea?
No one.
That can really distract them. So there's a time to set that you can multitask. Other times it's better to focus on that one thing and focus directly on it. For example, driving. You would say, put all that away, drive. Focus on the road. When you get home, watch your movie. Text message your friends. Eat your food. But now, drive. Sometimes with business, you want to have certain things that you focus on, uninterrupted. And it's okay to multitask at times. But you don't want to let the multitasking overrun what you do, because you'll find yourself over here, up there, down there, over here, and you can't really get one thing done well. And sometimes driving can be the most important thing at that moment. So those are just some of the tips that I got from this course. It's about a 15-hour long course, so I can't obviously go over everything. But the most important thing to be productive is wake up, start the day off with what's most important. Start the day off with a healthy meal, because you have to feel good. If you don't feel good, it's going to be very, very hard to have a positive outlook and want to get a lot done. You'll want to lay in bed. Second one was interruptions. Make sure you have your interruptions limited so you know when you can and cannot be interrupted. Don't make yourself accessible all day long to anyone, anytime. And the last one was the multitasking. It can be good in some cases, but in most cases in businesses, it's not a good thing to do. So just make sure, have focused time when you do just one task. That's what I learned from Be Productive.